second yoga session. Grateful to again be joining you in your conference. Your children are your hearts, and so we must take care of our own hearts. As we prepare to begin, I would invite you to ensure that you have your pillow, a blanket, you have your mat set up. You'll be starting in standing at the top of your mat. Perhaps your pillow, your blanket is to the side. But let's get up, stand up, and come on up to the top of your mat. And as you arrive, I would invite you to take several steps. I don't know that they need to be stomps, but feel your feet on this earth. Noticing, maybe remembering that we generally practice yoga barefoot, the soles of our feet comprised of thousands of nerve endings. Their job, of course, to take in information, to sense this world around us. Certainly in practices, there is different organs associated with different parts of the foot, reflexology. I always like to imagine that as I walk on this earth, barefooted, not only am I connecting with the earth, I'm inviting it to stimulate all the organs within this body. So finding a place where our feet are underneath our hips and letting yourself gently keep moving if that is what the body is asking for. Perhaps swaying the weight from side to side, moving the weight from front to back. We've got four corners of each foot, the outside edges of the ball, the outside edges of the heel, and we're wanting to feel this, to feel the way that we distribute the weight, and to then balance it from side to side and from front to back. As you balance the weight, lift your toes up. See what happens if you lift the toes and separate the toes. Granted, our toes don't always hear us. In fact, one of the first things that happens as we age is we begin to lose that connection. I mean, it goes all the way from our brains down to our little toes, telling them to separate. Not uncommon that we lose or begin to lose it. As we do this, we're inviting it back, strengthening it if it's still there. But separating our toes, like our toes are fingers. How powerful our fingers are in this life. Your toes are the same. As we spread those toes, we bring them down and gently grip this earth. Your arches lift, almost like you're squeezing the balls and the heels towards each other a little bit. Noticing whether our ankles tend to roll out, roll in, again, distributing our weight, so that ideally when we gaze down, we see our toes spread. We see them gripping gently. We see our arches activated. And we see those ankles right over top of those feet. Glorious. Engage your calves. Micro bend your knees just a little, especially if you're somebody who tends to lock your knees. You want to micro bend. And then we want to activate our thighs. so that it's as though the muscles in these legs are hugging these bones. Good. As we stand up tall, we'll gently tuck our tailbone under, and I'm going to turn just so you can see. Tailbone tucks gently under, and then tailbone lifts up and back a little bit. And I would just like for you to explore tucking that tailbone a little, letting it rock up and back, and find a place in your body where you have, it's a lumbar curve, enough of a lumbar curve, not too much, right, with that butt way out, not too little, like the butt's tucked in, but just right. As you do this, lift through the pelvic floor, remembering that from the outside, that's the perineum, but your pelvis is comprised of many muscles that are this pelvic bowl area. And so we're gently lifting here, engaging our lower abs. As we lift up, there is a squeeze in. Lifting up through the torso. Let that lift you all the way up. Getting ears right over top of the shoulders. Lift up and out the crown of the head. Good. So come back to the feet. Feel those toes. Feel the four corners of those feet. Feel the ankles right over top of the feet. Activate the calves, the thighs. Know you've got to bend, at least a little micro bend in the knees so that you don't lock them. And then feel this activation of it's your inner strength. Feel yourself lift up, squeeze in, all the way up, out through the crown of the head. Noticing lumbar curve. And then rolling those shoulders back and down so that they're away from your ears. Checking in with your ears, maybe moving the head front to back. Again, I'm turning just so you can see. Some of us naturally sit, stand, exist with our head way out here. Granted, this might be an exaggeration. But as forward-moving creatures, we are always, it's like we're always looking ahead. We want to bring those ears back so that they're over top of the shoulders. And let those shoulders relax back and down. With ears over top of the shoulders, bring your awareness to the space where the spine connects with the skull. And gently lift from the bottom of the skull like you could lengthen right through those top vertebrae. Just a teeny tiny bit of space. Glorious. Your face will soften. This means that your jaw will release and that your tongue will drop from the roof of the mouth down. Your temples, if you tend to hold tension here, you can lift and lower your eyebrows a few times. Inviting the forehead to soften. This is mountain pose. You're still. You're active. Still and active. Standing tall. Standing. Standing. Perhaps your eyes close. contemplating briefly why this pose, this way in which we hold this body, why might it be called mountain pose? Feeling into the energies of nature, of a mountain. I take one more breath, and then we'll open our eyes, bring our arms down and out, more so beside us, palms forward, shoulders back and down, broadening the collarbone. Let an inhale lift your arms up to the sky. When the arms get up, drop the shoulders down, exhaling. Inhale, let the belly expand. Exhale, let the belly deflate. Inhaling, your belly will expand. Exhaling, your belly will deflate. Your eyes can be open, perhaps the gaze narrowed. Keep breathing. Your eyes might gentle close, moving your attention in, connecting with your feet, the four corners, the toes, the arches, feeling those feet grounded to the earth. Check back in, ankles, calves, knees, and thighs. Notice your lumbar curve, the activation of your core. Notice the lifting up through the pelvic floor, the squeezing in, all the way up through the torso, up and out through the crown of the head. Notice the arms up, not just the fingers reaching, but the arms, the armpits, down through the sides of your torsos, down through your legs, like you're lifting up towards the sky, and at the same time, your shoulders dropping down away from your ears, your face soft, bringing your awareness to your breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more breath. This is standing mountain. Inhale through the nose, out the mouth. Standing tall mountain. Let the arms come down beside you. Let the shoulders soften. Inhaling, you'll roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, let the ears lift up to the shoulders. Exhale, let the shoulders roll back and down. Inhale, arms or shoulders rather, up towards the ears. Exhale them back and down. You might gently squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back body. Inhale them up. Exhale them back and down. Let's do 2 more times, up towards your ears. Exhale them back and down. Glorious. Pausing here. We're going to step our feet out to the side. I'd say they're a little bit wider than your hips. We're just going to do a tiny bit of standing cat-cow, knowing that if there's one takeaway from the physical practice of yoga, it is that of moving the spine in every way. So to begin, our feet are wider than our hips, just a little bit. I'm going to grab a chair, as that may also be where you wish to be. Same situation, really. We're stacking our spine into a neutral alignment, right? So if your feet are a little wider than your hips, you're here standing up, creating lumbar curve, cervical curve. If you're standing, I have to move my toes out, bend the knees, hinge at the hips a little, and come down so that you are still with a neutral spine. If you wish to sit, butt down, right? Knees a little wider than your hips. Hands on, they could be on the knees or down towards the thighs a little bit, but still neutral spine. Together, whether we're standing or not, we will be tucking the tailbone gently. We'll be tucking the chin gently, and we'll be arching the back. It'll be an inhale that brings us forward. It rolls our tailbone up and back. It rolls our shoulders back and down. It opens our throat, and our collarbone broadens. Good, and then we tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, arch the back. Allow the tailbone to rock up and back. Your pelvis is rocking forward. Your shoulders roll back and down. Your throat, your collarbone opens. Tailbone tucks, chin tucks, back arches. Tailbone lifts, throat, collarbone opens. Good. If your eyes are open, I would invite you to close them. Before you do, I can model the standing one. Again, tailbone lifting, throat, collarbone opening. Tailbone tucking, chin tucking, spine arching. Tailbone lifting, shoulders rolling back and down so collarbone can broaden, throat can open. Regardless of whether we're seated or we're standing, we want the belly button to tuck up and in towards the solar plexus. We want the solar plexus to tuck up and in. And if we want, we could lift the pelvic floor, engage those lower abs, and create quite a bit of activation in this core. You can choose at least belly button and solar plexus to protect the spine. So from here, inviting you to close your eyes if they're not. And we're going to go back and forth, connecting our movement with our breath. Your inhale is what's going to bring you forward. So tailbone up and back, shoulders back and down, throat, collarbone open. Exhaling, tailbone tucks, chin tucks, back arches. Inhaling, tailbone lifts, throat, collarbone opens. Exhaling, tailbone tucks, chin tucks, back arches. Inhaling, this is cow. Exhaling to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's do 2 more times. Seated or standing. When we meet, we're going to meet standing. You can keep your chair near if you wish. But coming back to that place where our feet are under our hips. Our legs are active. We've got our weight distributed 4 corners of our feet. We've got a micro bend in the knees. And we've got this activation that happens from the pelvic bowl all the way up, lifting us up out through the crown of the head. At the same time we lift up, those shoulders roll back and down, and that face of yours softens. Bringing your awareness in by closing the eyes. Feeling the air as it moves in through your nostrils. Feeling the air as it moves out through your nostrils. Inhale, feel the air move in. This time, exhale out your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Again, in through your nose, inviting it out your mouth again with the addition of a sigh. In through the nose. In through the nose. We'll take 2, 3 more of these breaths. Lengthening both the inhale and the exhale to speak directly to our nervous systems. That exhale out the mouth being more impactful than it is out the nose if we're looking to calm and relax. Adding the sigh, creating the vibration, soothing this nervous system. It vibrates the vagus nerve. Breath can return to its regular rhythm. Your vagus nerve being a cranial nerve, meaning it starts at the base of the head, or right where that spine connects to the skull. Some will say it's the root of the tongue. But that vagus nerve starts, moves down through our neck, down into our torso, and is connected with every vital organ involved in our stress response. As humans, as mammals, we are wired to have a stress response. That said, we are wired for only about 20 minutes at a time. Let's take a breath in here, bend the knees, and let your hips hinge so that either your elbows find your thighs or your belly finds your thighs. Whichever one is comfortable, please bend your knees. And you can have them bent quite a lot. If this is too much standing, same thing can happen from our chair. It would be that our feet, they can be a little wider than the hips from the chair. Elbows could be to the knees, or belly could be to the knees. Knees are bent, either way. From here, let's allow the back body to bend and let the chin tuck in, allowing this torso to hang heavy. If our belly is on our thighs and our arms are just hanging, we might consider grabbing opposite elbows. As that chin tucks in, if our eyes were open or are, we'd be looking at the belly button. In this position, again, stimulating the vagus nerve as a means to calm, to soothe our own nervous system, our own energy. Here, this vagus nerve is gently stimulated as that chin is tucked in. And it sends our bodies, our brains, it sends our systems the signal to slow down. Another glorious component of this pose is that our arms, if we're standing, and arms can be hanging, it's like our arms are tuning out some of the sound in this world. Our attention in terms of visual is pointed in. If your eyes are open, all you can really see is your own body. Maybe they're closed even. You're moving your senses in, withdrawing from the external, moving to the internal. Let's take one more breath. And then we're going to come halfway up. So for many of us, hands would be on the shins, maybe elbows on the knees still. If we're in our chair, you're halfway up. Remembering that there is no right or wrong in yoga. There's one rule, that is that of safety. To honor whatever it is going on in this body. To attend with loving care to your being. Next inhale, come slowly, all the way up, your eyes open, inhaling, exhaling, all the way back up to standing. Good. When we meet at standing, I would invite you to just shake it out a little bit. Good. So coming back, we're almost to the place where we can get down to the floor. But coming back to standing, I wish for you to consider bringing your right hand up and over, maybe just placing it on the heart for a sec. Feeling your heart center. In yoga, as we move the body, we move the energy. As we breathe, we move the energy. And we use different systems, I guess, to understand how it is we're doing that. One system is called the chakra system. I recently heard it referred to as a biopsychosocial system for us to understand our energy systems. That said, this heart energetically is its own system. In fact, there's research out there that says this heart has its own energetic field. It's wild. Anyway, the heart, of course, is associated with love. It can be the love that we have for others, right? Some would say that that is perhaps the easiest love. Take that or leave that. Because love isn't limited to the external or the outward focus. In fact, love moves in, inviting us here to really consider how it is we love ourselves. Good. So right hand is going to start tapping and moving up and over towards that left shoulder where it's going to start slapping. And we're going to slap down that arm. Move up the back of it, across the back of our shoulders, across the collarbone, maybe gentler, and then switch arms so that you can go down, slapping down that right arm, back up the right arm, across the back of the shoulder, get across the collarbone, get both arms up, and then let's slap down through our chest, down through our torsos, down through our hips. We're going to bend the knees as we go down through the legs, the inner outer thighs, the knees, the calves. If you can reach all the way to the feet, tap on the tops of the feet, and then come up the back of those legs, up through the calves, the thighs, all the way up the butt. Let your hands reach up as far as they go. Your hands then are going to come to the back of your neck. Turn it to a tap. Tap up the back of your neck, top of your head, gently through the forehead, the face, maybe your eyes closed, down through the face, the neck, back to the heart. And begin again. And that right hand is going to move across the left collarbone, down the left arm, up the left arm, across the back of the shoulder, gently across the collarbone, switch arms, hands, down that right arm, up the back of it, both hands, arms involved, down through your torso, down the side bodies to the hips, down through your legs. Remember, bend your knees, down through the shins all the way to the tops of the feet, gentler, I would presume, then up the back of the thighs, back, all the way back of the legs to the butt, up your back as far as you can reach, and then up, tapping through the back of the neck, back of the head, and crown of the head. From the crown of the head, move down through your forehead, your temples, your cheeks, your jaw, down through your neck, collarbone, back to your heart. Tapping gently on this heart, this energetic center of love. The love, of course, that you share out, but perhaps most importantly, the love that you practice within. Pausing here, considering love as a practice. What it involves really to love another, the way that we talk to them, the way that we choose to show up and engage with them. Perhaps we practice patience, kindness, perhaps we practice empathy, right? Our capacity to be with, to feel what it is another feels, to put ourselves in their shoes just for a moment. And perhaps we practice validation. I see you. I hear you. Good. Let's take that right hand back across the left, turning it into a slap as you go down that arm one more time. Back up, across the back of the shoulders, gently across the collarbone. Other side. Both hands, arms get involved. Down through our legs, tops of our feet, up through the calves, the thighs, the butt, up as high as you can reach. Hands will come to the back of the neck, tapping now. Back of the head. Taking your time. No hurry in yoga. No hurry. What does that feel like? No hurry. The hands eventually tapping their way back to the heart. We'll allow the right to rest, the left to cross over. Holding your heart, considering what love is in terms of a practice outward, and then inviting that practice to turn itself around and be directed towards you. Making our way down to our mat. You can use your chair to help you get down if you wish. All the way down. You'll want to move your chair to the side or out of the way so that you can find yourself on your back body. Your knees will be bent. Your bolster, your blanket can be set to the side for now. Your pillows, I suppose. Our knees are bent. Our shoulders rolling back and down. Bringing our knees all the way to one another. Let's let them gently tick-tock from side to side. By tick-tock, I mean they only fall just a little bit to each side. I would say they don't even go halfway to the side. As your knees tick-tock, wiggle your arms. Get your arms somewhere where your shoulders can roll back and down, where your collarbone can broaden, and where your heart center can be wide open. Once your arms are where your arms wish to be, gently tuck your chin just a little bit in towards your chest so you can lengthen the back of the neck just a little. Know that if you're not comfortable right here, it might be that you need your blanket rolled a little bit underneath your neck for support. It might mean that you need a blanket underneath your back for more cushion. But creating as much ease in this body as we can create. And as our knees tick-tock from side to side, let's pay attention to what we feel in the back of the hips, what we feel in the front of the hips, maybe your eyes even close, and you bring your attention to your breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And out the mouth. Breath can return to its regular rhythm, though I would invite you to note breath as an anchor for the mind. If at any time in this practice you feel yourself moving into thinking, wherein you're engaging with your thoughts, I would invite you to bring your awareness, your attention back to your breath and lengthen your breath. Go in through the nose, out through the mouth. Lengthen your breath so that you can stay, your awareness can stay here in this body. We can think later. In fact, we can think the whole rest of our lives if that's what we wish to do. For now, though, we're practicing embodiment. It doesn't mean that the thinking will stop. It just means that for now, we don't need to engage with it. Good. Next time your knees are in the center, pause. And bring your right knee, bring it up and in towards your torso, hands to your knees. If that doesn't work, you could bring your hands, you could grab your pants on your thigh, you could grab the thigh. Again, there's no right or wrong, but we're gently pulling that leg in towards our torso. Even though the arms have the leg, I would invite you to soften the shoulders. Tuck that chin a little bit so you can lengthen the back of the neck and soften the face. Inhaling through the nose, letting that belly fill. It expands. Exhaling, it can be at the nose or the mouth, but your belly will deflate. Inhaling, the belly expands. Exhaling, and the belly deflates. Inhale, expand. Exhale, deflate. Next, inhale, we want to straighten that leg up towards the ceiling. Again, you could have hold of your pants, right? Like just holding it up. You could wrap your hands around the thigh. But let's see what happens if we make our leg as straight as our leg can get. Again, remember, it can be out. It could be way out. It might be harder to hold up. For whatever reason, I'm thinking if you had like a sweater or a jacket to to help hold it up, if it needs to be far out, that might be really appreciated. But we're getting that leg as straight as it can be. And then we're pointing our toes to the ceiling. And we're pulling our toes in towards the shin. Inhale, point your toes to the ceiling. Exhale, pull your toes in towards your shin. Inhale, point your toes. Exhale, flex your toes. One more time, point and flex. And then let's roll those ankles. If you roll one way, you'll want to roll the other way. Good. Take a breath in. Let your exhale bend that knee. Bring your right foot to your left ankle. So you're set up. It's a figure 4. We want to bring our right hand to the right thigh. Your head is resting. Your hand is gently pushing that thigh bone away from you. Here, if you want, the knees can gently tick-tock. Just a little, side to side. Your face is soft. Your jaw released. Feeling your belly expand with your inhale. Feeling it deflate with your exhale. If you're rocking, let the next inhale bring you back to the center to stillness. Our exhale is going to cross our right leg all the way over our left. And here we're pausing briefly, just feeling what that feels like. Knowing, if you don't, that this is one of the most unhealthy ways that we can sit in our day. Really not good for our hips, really not good for our spine. Noticing here, though, what it does feel like. Good, and then rocking knees just a little if you wish, side to side. Good, we'll bring that right leg back up and off, back so the foot is on the floor. We want our knees together, our feet together, knees tick-tocking again. Side to side they go. As they tick-tock, we check in with our shoulders, get our arms where our shoulders can relax. Check in with the back of our neck, lengthening gently, softening the face. Maybe your eyes are closed. Your jaw is released. We're releasing these gentle, repetitive movements, inviting any tension that's held in our hips, in our lower back, inviting release. Good. Next time your knees are coming through the center, pause. It's left leg's turn this time. It's coming up. It's coming in towards the torso, knee bent. Your hands can be around your thigh, can have hold of your pants. Again, if you had a sweater or something, you could wrap it around your knee. But you're hugging that knee or that leg into you gently. Remembering there's one rule, it's no pain. In my body, I prefer to go into the place where I first feel sensation and to pause there, to really take a moment and ask my body if it is wise to move in deeper. Wherever it is we land, we bring our awareness to the breath, inhaling through the nose. You can exhale out the nose or mouth, but we deepen the breath. Deepening as a means to speak directly to our nervous system. When our breath is deeper and slower, our heart rate is slower. When our heart rate is slower, our muscles start relaxing because our chemicals, our stress chemicals, start shifting. Adrenaline, cortisol, lowering. Next, inhale, let your legs straighten-ish, as straight as you can get it towards the ceiling. Again, sweater, jacket could help you, pants could help you. Getting that leg straight, and then coming back to the breath, lengthening inhale, lengthening exhale. Using that breath to talk to your nervous system. To slow everything down within you. As noted, that stress response wired in us as mammals as a means of survival. We perceive threat and we react. Interestingly, all other mammals, after about 20 minutes of stress response, they automatically downregulate themselves. Let's point our toe and flex our foot. Pull the toe towards the shin. Point the toe. Flex the toe and point. This is for your sciatic nerve. Pointing and flexing. And then rolling your ankle. If you roll it one way, you'll want to roll it the other way. Taking one more breath in here, using your exhale to bring your leg down. Bringing that ankle so it's over top of the knee. And then crossing that leg all the way over. Pausing here, just feeling what that feels like. Knowing that this is a no-go if we're on a chair, sitting on the couch, wherever. It makes your hips lopsided, right? Makes your spine have to compensate. Good. If you want to rock a teeny bit, you could rock a teeny bit. We'll take a breath in. Let the next exhale unwind our foot. Bring our feet all the way together, knees together, and one more time. Let those knees tick-tock from side to side. Good. Next time they're going towards the right, let them drop over as far as they go. And then go ahead and roll yourself over. You'll probably need to wiggle, scoot your hips a little. But let's land on our right side. Our arms straight out in front of us. Our head, if it feels good to have your head on the floor, then lovely. If it feels better to have it on your blanket, or again, if you have a sweater or a jacket, that would be a glorious little pillow. But you do want your neck to be comfortable, your knees to be bent. And we're here, this is called alligator arms. We're here on our side bodies. We're going to be inhaling to bring that arm to the ceiling. And then exhaling to bend the elbow, rock that arm back like it's looking for the earth over there on the side. It's going to open your chest, right? Broaden your collarbone a little. Your top knee can follow. Your hips can follow as needed. And then you'll inhale that arm back to the ceiling. Exhale, bring that arm down so it lands on top of the other. Inhaling, arm up. Exhaling, arm back and down. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, arm down, landing on top of the other. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, let it drop back, opening the collarbone, the heart center. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, arm down on top of the other, alligator arms. Inhale, lift the arm up. This time when you drop it back, stay there. Let that arm extend out. It doesn't have to be straight. It can stay bent if you wish. Your gaze will move up, I'm guessing, towards the ceiling, finding a place where the neck is comfortable. Bringing our awareness to our breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, it could be nose or mouth. Or even adding a sigh if that's what you wish to do. Inhale through the nose. Out the mouth or nose. Sighing if you wish. One more time, in through the nose. Out through the mouth, nose. Choose to sigh if that feels good. And then we'll let our breath return to its regular rhythm. Softening the face. Softening the jaw. Tucking the chin a teeny bit so back of the neck is long. Softening through the shoulders. The belly. Down through that pelvic bowl, pelvic floor even. All the way down through your legs to your feet. Allowing your body to rest here. If you feel like you need a pillow between the legs or under your bottom leg, certainly you can use that pillow to help your body be as comfortable as your body can be. As the body rests, it's very common for the mind to get busy, for thoughts to start getting loud, maybe emotions. One of my favorite things to teach is that our thoughts are electricity firing from neuron to neuron. Our emotions really are just energy in motion. That we really are not our thoughts. We're not our feelings. While we're having the experience of them, we aren't them. And so you might notice that they're there. Notice, and then bring your attention back to the breath. Back to your body. Back to your practice. Back into this place where you're connected with yourself as the observer. as the one who can witness whatever it is that goes on in the mind, whatever it is that you're experiencing in the body. Next, inhale. Let your top knee move up towards the ceiling, even heel toe over towards the left. Your bottom knee will follow so that we land on our back body. And I'm guessing your body is going to ask you to bring your feet together, your knees together. And it might ask you to tick-tock a little, to notice what you feel in terms of the left side, the right side. Very often, when we've done one side and not the other, we can feel imbalanced, even uncomfortable. We're going to be rolling over onto that left side. So your knees, when they fall, let yourself wiggle, scooch, so you can land all the way over on that left side. Arms out in front of you, they're alligator arms, right? Your knees bent, getting yourself set up, situated. And then it'll be an inhale that brings left arm to the ceiling, right arm to the ceiling. Exhaling, it drops back, open behind you. Your arm can be bent or straight, it doesn't matter. Inhale, arm to the ceiling. Exhale, bring it down, it's alligator arms. Inhale, arm to the ceiling. Exhale, drop it back, open, expanding, broadening through the collarbone, the heart. Inhale it up. Exhale, alligator arms. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, out, back behind you, collarbone broad. One more time to the ceiling. Exhaling, alligator arms. Inhale, lift that arm up. Exhale, drop it back, open behind you. We're pausing here. We're making any adjustment with our body, using our blanket, our pillow, whatever it is we need to make this as comfortable as we can make it. Again, one rule, it's no pain. Sometimes we do practice being uncomfortable in yoga, but it's a choice and it's conscious in terms of watching our capacity to allow. That said, this practice is not that. This practice is that of ease, of allowing our bodies to be comfortable, connecting back with our breath. Deepening it. And letting that breath be, it's a bridge to that part of us that is witness, that can observe, the part of us that is neither the body nor the mind, but is the one who can experience both. We have all different words for this part of us. Some do call it awareness. I think I often refer to it as the witness. I hear it said as the spirit. Some will even connect soul. You choose your word. And then direct your awareness to that heart center, back to this place energetically associated with love. Love, not just a feeling, though it is, but love as a practice. We've contemplated how it is we demonstrate or practice loving another. And we've turned it around so that that practice is pointed at us, from us. Next inhale, bring your top knee to the center. Bottom knee will follow. You'll need to shift your hips so that they're back underneath your shoulders. And then let your knees again tick-tock. Your arms can still be out like a giant T. As you let those knees tick-tock, pull your belly button into the spine and tuck your solar plexus in. We'll bring our knees to the center. Maybe the feet out a little wider so they're about as wide as your hips. Pull your belly button into your spine, tuck your solar plexus in, and let's lift our pelvic floor here. Remember, perineum lifts up, squeezes in. Squeeze all the way up through your midline, like you're lifting up and out the crown of the head. So you're activating your core like crazy. And we're using this first, I guess, to activate the core. This is a great way to build core strength in a way that's passive and fairly safe, right? Like not compromising anything. It's also a great way to work with your energy. When you lift that pelvic floor, you squeeze up, you squeeze in. It's like we're building this core strength. At the same time, this core is active. Soften your butt, your legs, your arms, your shoulders. Soften your face. Let it be just your core. Take a breath in, and then exhale. You can relax everything. Taking a breath or two, we're going to do the same thing again. Inhaling, belly button, solar plexus tucks up, tucks in. Pelvic floor, those lower abs, all of that activates as squeezes up and in. Your obliques, muscles on the side body squeeze in. As they do, check back in with the shoulders, the face. Remember, the whole rest of your body is easeful. It's just this core that's working. Nice deep breath. Remember, keeping that nervous system down-regulated. Take another breath in. And then exhale. Relax. Very gently, you'll let your tailbone rock down into the earth. And then you'll tuck it between your legs. Gently rock it down into the earth and tuck it between your legs. Gently rock it. It's like you're exaggerating your lumbar curve just a little. And then when you tuck it between your legs, you're doing away with your lumbar curve. Exaggerating it a teeny bit and doing away. And we're just wanting to make sure that our lower back and our hips are okay, that they're going to be comfortable enough for us to stretch ourselves all the way out. Before we do, invite to bring the knees in, both of them, to rock a little side to side. You could let the knees circle if you want. Another thing that some people like to do is they like to bring their shoulders and their head up. Use your core to do that. And then slowly bring them back down like you're making a little space between your thoracic vertebra. And we'll take just a few more breaths, releasing here. Kind of moving in whatever way you feel like your body wants to, needs to. Good, and then to settle in for our final position, I would invite that you bring your pillow underneath your thighs. And it does matter in our bodies whether the pillow is all the way up near the butt or it's down towards the knees. Each position is going to hold your thigh bones a little different in your hip sockets. I like to kind of play and try different ones and see each day what my body actually prefers. When you get those legs out, maybe you let the legs kind of flop open and closed a few times. You could squeeze your butt, release your butt, just wiggle a little, maybe bounce your butt. My body is asking, like, squeeze your butt and release, squeeze your butt and release. Just getting as comfortable as we can get. Your blanket, if you have it, you might wish for it to be over top of you, and maybe not the whole body. Sometimes, sure, if we're chilly, but sometimes it also just feels really good to have something over the torso. This is a very vulnerable position, right? When we're laying on our back, we're going to be closing our eyes and totally chilling out. Our whole torso is open, it's vulnerable. Right, all our vital organs exposed. It might not be that our nervous systems are completely comfortable with that. So do what honors your body. So getting ourselves situated, we do want to close the eyes. And you don't have to close them right away, right? Like you might actually look about the space, kind of see where you are right now. While you notice colors and shapes and textures, patterns even. Kind of notice what you see, and then notice the fact that you can see. Your eyes then, if you're feeling like it's okay to close them, they'll close. If that doesn't feel okay, your eyes don't have to be closed, but narrow your gaze. Look without really looking. We'll bring our awareness from sight, we'll bring it to sound. And we'll notice noises in our space. Noises that are near us, noises that are further away. And while we notice what we hear, please notice that you hear. And then move your awareness to smell. Smell being one of our strongest senses as humans, one of our most important. They all are, but the way that smell is connected to our limbic system is incredible. From smell, we'll move to taste. And from taste, move to touch. Remembering that our 5 physical senses are the way in which we experience the external world. They take in sensory input. And 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, these senses are working, taking in this world. We connect with them in this practice as a way of bringing our awareness in to our bodies. And once here in our bodies, I would invite complete relaxation. Consciously letting our eyes drop back in our eye sockets. Letting our faces soften, the jaw release. Letting the crown of the head, the back of the head soften. And down through the neck. Inviting the shoulders to soften. The arms to get heavy. Inviting the belly to soften. The belly button to sink to the spine. And the spine to sink to the earth. Inviting your butt to soften. The pelvic floor to soften. The thighs, the knees, the calves, all the way down to the ankles, to the feet. All 10 of your toes soften. Letting this whole body relax. Allowing this body to get heavy. Letting the exhale drop you deep in to the earth. With the body relaxed, notice the mind. The mind for our practice, consisting of thoughts, electricity, as it fires from one neuron to the next. The brain's job is to think. Very often it'll still be thinking. Notice it. Notice any emotions, which are energy in motion. Emotions can be felt. They can be felt throughout the body. Okay, let's bring our attention to our breath. focusing, concentrating on the breath. If you need to deepen your breath, exaggerate your exhale. It'll make your body take a bigger breath in. But focusing on the breath as we disidentify with the mind, that internal, more subtle reality wherein we are essentially making sense of the external. How we make sense will be based on the zillions of experiences we've had. From the moment we were conceived, how we might make sense could be based on our DNA. But it's how we make sense, how we perceive threat and not threat, how we navigate this life. What seems to be true of many of us humans is that we navigate in a way where we feel threatened, not safe. We navigate with a nervous system that spends the vast majority of its time in a state of stress. As noted, this is part of our survival. We need to respond to threats. And yet, we need to know how to come back to homeostasis. To remember that we are, in fact, safe. If only for this moment. Inviting you to feel yourself as safe right here, right now. To connect with your breath. and to bring your awareness back into your body. Maybe you can feel your arms and your legs. I would invite you to see if you can feel your toes before you move them. To feel your fingers before you move them. And then when you're ready, to very gently wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists, roll your ankles. Let your head move a little side to side. Ever so mindfully, we'll bend our knees. We'll want to let our hips shift one way. Our knees fall to the side. Our torso will follow our knees. We're rolling over onto our side body into fetal position. I would invite that you stay there for a few breaths. Knowing that when your body gets 5 minutes of purposeful relaxation, just 5 minutes, the body and the brain think that they have had a 20-minute nap. When we slow everything down, we enter brainwave states that are or resemble that of sleep. We want to use our hands, our arms to push ourselves up. As we practice yoga, as we practice relaxation, we can relax deeply. In fact, so deeply that it replicates that of deep sleep, where our body, our mind's natural intelligence turns on, restoring and rejuvenating themselves. So getting all the way up, we've got our feet, our eyes closed. The last part of any yoga practice, at least that I guide, is that of contemplation. It's just an opportunity to consider what this experience has been like. Not just our physical experience, but it could be our mental, emotional, our energetic experience. Bringing then our palms together, tucking the thumbs in at the heart, closing this practice by connecting back with the heart center here. Maybe your thumbs even gently move up and down, massaging the heart. The center of love. The ways that we love another. Our children in particular. All the skills, all the skills that we've learned, cultivated, practiced to engage with our children the way that we choose. And knowing that those same skills can be turned around, directed to us, from us. These could be simple things, caring about the way that we hydrate, the way that we feed ourselves. I say simple, and yet as an adult know that these can be some of the most challenging parts of our self-care. How it is we hydrate and nutrify. How it is we move. How it is we rest, sleep, play. How it is we take care of ourselves, our bodies. How do we take care of our minds? How do we talk to ourselves? How do we be with ourselves as it relates to emotion? How do we love ourselves? Grateful for your presence here, the opportunity to share a practice. Wishing each of you the best as you move back into your world. The witness in me honors the witness in you. From this place, more the same than we could ever be different. Namaste.